Are you living a life of bravery or are you living a life of slavery? Hey everybody, this is Bishal Sarkar, author of the book I Love Public Speaking and creator of Rock the Stage Ultimate Formula. A life of bravery is always better than a life of slavery. Do you agree with me on that? Well, the reason I say that is because I love to be practical. Okay, now people call me Mr. Practical because of only one reason, because I give you practical tips and techniques that you can do and you can apply in order to overcome your stage fear, become more confident, and deliver world-class presentations in such a way that helps you increase your impact, impression, and income. And in this audio, I want to ask you this question: whether you are living a life of bravery or you are living a life of slavery. Now, if you are a good person, good human being, I appreciate that and I know that you're living a life of bravery, but it doesn't hurt to check right now. And the reason I say that is because many people know that I'm the author of the book I Love Public Speaking. I'm creator of Rock the Stage Ultimate Formula. I've appeared on multiple international radio shows and newspapers and all these things. But what most people don't know about me is that I come from a Bengali medium school where my parents paid 289 rupees per year for my school tuition, because that's the background I came from. I was studying in a Bengali medium school, which was also a government, and I come from a very small place in North India called Shiliguri, which is in West Bengal. Have you heard of West Bengal? Okay, great. So that was the place that I came from, and coming from the place. My parents always wanted me to be an engineer. And when I was growing up, I did not have that sense of ownership. I did not know what I wanted to do. I did not find my passion. I did not find my purpose. I did not know what I wanted to do in my life. So I was doing everything that people were telling me. I was taking science, then I was doing this. But I did not know what I wanted to do. And someday I found my passion. I knew that I wanted to help people. I knew that I wanted to interact with people. I knew I wanted to advise people with my perspective. I knew I wanted to teach people how to be confident in their lives, because I came from a background where I was not so much confident. However, when I found my passion and when I was ready to turn my passion into practice and then passion into profession, I had a hit. What do I mean by a hit? I did not have any support from my family. The reason I did not have any support from my family was because I was going to choose a profession, or rather a passion, which was not lucrative as a profession, which was not lucrative as a business, because that's the background I came from, right? People did not know about public speaking. People did not know about leadership. People did not know about youtube.com. People did not know much about these things, and neither did I. I did not know about all these things as well. So I had to fight an inner battle in my family. I had to fight an inner battle in my community, that I wanted to do something with my life. I wanted to, go out of Shiliguri and do some jobs and create some experiences for myself and meet new people and find more opportunities and then finally run my own business someday. But I was facing a lot of inner conflict within the family. And more than the family, I was finding a lot of inner conflict within myself. Within myself. It was a tough thing. I still remember where those days, those afternoons when my father used to come to me and tell me, Bishali, I know you want to do this, but how can you ever make money with this? You cannot. I remember the time that when my mother, used not to speak to me for a few moments and few minutes because she thought I would mean to nothing. I remember those moments when my relatives used to laugh at me for my dreams. It made me feel bad. It made me feel embarrassed. It made me feel frustrated, but at the same time, it made me brave. Because I knew that if I wanted to do something in my life, I had to take an action. I knew that I had to make a difference in my life. But I was passionate at the same time. I was scared. I was afraid. I did not know how to go out there. So, first thing, when I came to Bangalore, I finished did my management college thing, and it was done. My college thing was done, and after that, I joined a job in Business Standard, worked for First Source, then Business Standard, and then I knew that I was ready somehow to get into a little bit of speaking, a little bit of training. And I started doing that, and people started appreciating that. People started giving me standing ovations. People started giving me a lot of invitations for speaking. I mean, I was getting invitations from different management colleges after that to speak there and motivate them and inspire them and teach them about communication and leadership and how to rock the stage. And finally, when I was ready, I thought I was ready now. I'm ready now. I'm ready to leave my job. I'm ready to start my own business. I'm ready right now. I'm feeling excited. I want to do this. I want to do this. And then an inner fear hit me. An inner voice. I know you know what voice I'm talking about. An inner voice that tells you and tells me that, Bishal, you are not ready. Bishal, who will listen to you? Bishal, you don't know how to market yourself. Bishal, there are so many motivational speakers out there. How will people even know about you? Bishal, you don't have a book. Bishal, no newspaper will ever come to you. How will they ever be? How can they even know about you? Bishal, how can radio channels know about you? Bishal, you don't have whatever it takes. Have you ever heard any of these voices inside your head? One of my mentors, Les Brown, who also is a friend of mine now from last year, he says a line that if there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do you no harm. If there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do you no harm. And I was having the enemy inside me. I was having that negative self-talk within me. I was having that self-doubting behavior in myself that I had to overcome. And I finally met one of my mentors at a CCD. I remember that afternoon. I went to him. He was sitting right there. I said, "Sir, I want to meet you. I want to talk to you for something." And he said, "Yeah, that's why we are here. Let's talk about it, Bishal. Let's order some cappuccino." So we ordered the cappuccino. He ordered something else to eat, and I was not in a mood of cappuccino. I wanted some answers. So I told him, "Sir, I'm ready to run my business. I'm ready to help people. I'm passionate about changing people's life through my public speaking, through my coaching program, through my mentorship. But sir, can I really do it? I'm scared. I'm afraid. People are telling that I cannot do it. My parents are not supporting me for last 5 years. What can I do? What can I do? What can I do?" And he looked me dead in the eye. And he said to me, "Bishal, you can do anything, but you cannot do everything. You can do anything, but you cannot do everything." And he went on to explain to me that if I had to take charge of my life, if I had to take charge of my family, if I had to take charge of my finances, if I had to take charge of my fitness, if I had to take charge of my faith, if I had to take charge of my destiny, I had to make a decision. He told me a line that changed my life. And that line, he said that, "Bishal, remember that a life of bravery is better than a life of slavery." I said, yeah, you're right. I want to live a life of bravery. I don't want to live a life of slavery. I don't want to live a life of slavery where I have to go to work for somebody else every day. No. I don't want to live a life of slavery where I don't have enough money in my bank account. No. I don't want to live a life of slavery where everything is going out of my control. No. I don't want to live a life of slavery where my relationship is out of my control. No. Sir, I don't know how to say, sir. I want to live a life of bravery, sir. I want to live a life of bravery. And he stood up, he patted me on my shoulder, and he told me, "Bishal, then go ahead and don't listen to anybody and do your thing." And ladies and gentlemen, that was the day that turned everything around for me, because that was the day I went out and started making things happen. I started writing my book. I started creating audio programs. I started creating videos. Right now, we have well above 1,000 videos on YouTube. I started going out there and making a difference. I started going out there and approaching companies for speaking engagements. I started going out there. And it was tough. It was rough. I did not know how to market myself. It was tough because I did not know how to make connections and contacts. I did not know. It was tough because I did not know how to get speaking engagements. It was tough because I did not know how much money to charge corporate companies when they hire me to speak for 45 minutes of keynote speech. It was tough for me to follow with my clients. But you know what? I did not want to live a life of slavery, and I made a decision. And if I fast forward everything till today, everything is a history right now. In a humble way, everything is different right now. I get to live the lifestyle that I want. I have freedom with my time. I have freedom with my finance. I have freedom with my family. I have freedom with everything. I love the moment when I wake up in the morning. I don't have to worry about going to an office. I love the fact that when I wake up in the morning, I can go out on a date anytime I want with my fiance. I love the fact that when I wake up in the morning, I can focus and work on myself to make myself rich rather than working for somebody else and making that person rich. I love the fact that in the day I can go out and take a small trip anywhere whenever I want. I love the fact that any day I can take a vacation for next 20 days, 25 days, 30 days, and it will not even affect anything negatively in my business because my business runs on autopilot. And the reason I'm telling all these things to you is because my mentor reminded me, and the same thing I want to remind you today, that a life of bravery is better than a life of slavery. Now, when I say slavery, it's not about just working for somebody else. Sometimes I'm talking about slavery in your mindset, because there are so many people out there. I meet them every day. They are great people, but the thing is, there are a lot of things that are happening bad to these people. And these people, instead of taking a stand and talking to people, guess what? These people become silent. They are silent. When something bad is happening to them in a job interview, when something bad is happening to them as a customer, these are the people who are weak because they don't stand up and talk. They sit down and become silent. And there was somebody who said that the world suffers not because of the violence of the bad people. No. The world suffers because of the silence of the good people. And these are the people, some of the people that we have. There are some people around you in your office right now. There are some people around you in your home right now. There are some people in your community right now. There are some people in your family members who should be talking much to their family members, who should be talking back when something bad is happening to them. But they stay silent and they become slave to their negativity. But guess what? A life of bravery is better than a life of slavery. So what you should be doing in those moments is stand up and talk back whenever you should. I'll be honest with you. I teach people how to treat me. So I have a policy right now with my life for last 3 years, that anytime I'm behaved badly by somebody else, somebody behaves badly with me, I call them on it. I'm not silent person who's gonna just take a bad behavior and go, no. I know I look good. I know I am very handsome, but I talk back. So when somebody says something bad to me, I'm going to say, hey man, what did you say right now? Say it again one more time. I want to listen to the same thing you said to me right now. And that person like, whoa. Now I know that Bishal Sarkar is not one of the guys to mess with. And that's the person you should be as well, because a life of bravery is better than a life of slavery. You don't want to be a slave to other people's behavior. You want to be brave enough to stand up for yourself. Apart from that thing, you have to take control of your finance as well. The reason I see right now so many people who are 30-year-old, 35-year-old, 40-year-old, 45-year-old, they cannot afford to get a new thing. They cannot afford to buy a new car. They cannot. And look, I'm not saying that you should be rich. You should be, but that's not a mandatory thing for you. But what I'm saying is that, look, the reason most people cannot afford anything big, like a car or new house at the age of 45 is because of only one thing, because they were not brave enough to take some massive action in their lives. They are slave. They are slave to their company. They are slave to their excuses. They are slave to their own doubts. They have excuses. You tell them to do something and they'll say things like, oh, I have a commitment. Who doesn't, man? Who doesn't have a commitment? I have some family issues. Yeah, man, you had family issues for last 60 years. I want to take action, but I want to think about it. Think about it. Think with what? You don't have a brain. Look, the thing is, I'm not making fun of these people, but these people sound funny to me. Because these people who are full of excuses, they are slave to their excuses, they are slave to their doubt, they are slave to their being average, they are slave to mediocrity. But these are the same people who can stand up if they want to. These are the same people who can take charge of their life if they want to. These are the same people who can take control of their finances if they want to. Why? Because a life of bravery is better than a life of slavery. Absolutely. A life of bravery is better than a life of slavery. So you need to do the same thing as well, my friend. You need to take control of your finance. What does that mean? That means investing more in yourself, saving money, knowing where you are spending the money. Most people have no clue where they are spending the money. They get the salary, they spend here and there, and 15 days later, they are like, oh man, how much money did I spend and where did it even go? They have no clue. So be brave enough and write down the things that you're spending the money with. Take control of your finance, because a life of bravery is better than a life of slavery. I see so many people who are slave to a company. They have no purpose working for that company. They're working just because of money. Just because of the money. Just because of the money. And they're not getting paid highly enough. I mean, there is nothing wrong working with a company, man. I worked for a company, 2 companies, 3 companies, but there are so many people I know who worked for a company. My father worked for Indian Railways for a long time. There is nothing wrong for working for an organization, but there is a wrong thing. It is wrong to work for an organization without any purpose. If you don't have a purpose working for that organization, if you're not passionate, if you're working just for that money, man, why not doing something on your own? I see so many people tell me, man, I'm frustrated, I'm stressed, Bishal, working in the same company. I said, why? Don't you love your job? No, Bishal, I don't love my job. I don't love what I do. I don't love my company. I don't love the people around me. It's like, man, why are you working there? Take a charge, make a shift, and do something about it. Because if you don't, you'll become a slave. If you're not brave, you will become a slave. Because a life of bravery is better than a life of slavery. Your thinking, your actions shouldn't be a slave of others. You should listen to yourself. That's right. You should listen to your heart right now. Right now. And ask yourself this question. What is that I really want to do? What is that thing that lights me up? How much money do I need to have in my bank account to feel financially free? What is that dream vacation that I want to take my family along with me for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks without any worry? What is that book that I want to write for myself with my picture on the cover of the book? What is the stage that I want to speak on? What is that speech that I want to give confidently, but I have stage fear now? But forget the stage fear. What is that speech I want to give to people? If I could take my children to a grand trip, where would I take them? Think about it right now. And the reason I want you to think about it right now is because you have to be brave thinking about them first. You have to be brave taking action about them second. And then you'll get it. You know why? Because a life of bravery is better than a life of slavery. You know, one of the people I love and respect a lot as an entrepreneur is an entrepreneur named Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban. He's a billionaire and he's one of my mentors as well. And I actually belong to a group coaching program with him where, we get on a group call about 30 people. We get on a group call around the world, only 30 people around the world, including me, with Mark Cuban, where he teaches us much more about entrepreneurship and making a difference and innovation and leadership. And I mean, if you look at this post right now, I mean, this is something that he recently posted on Facebook. I mean, he has his private restroom whenever he goes to a show right now. Why? Because he has paid his dues, because he was brave. Look, if you know about his background, he didn't grow up with a lot of things from his family. No. See, he has businesses. I mean, I think more than one or 100 or 150 business. He's invested in so many companies. He has a technology business. He is big time into apps and SEOs, and he's big time into, he's actually the former owner of a basketball team as well. Yes, he has a lot of gaming business. He is a big time investor into Dropbox. But the thing is, I mean, he's a person who really, really worked hard on himself. He's a person who was brave enough to listen to his heart. He was a person who was brave enough to take some massive action. He was a person who was brave enough to do the things that most people did not do at his age. He was brave enough to take that course or invest here or read that book and do the things that most people don't do, so that he could have the dream that most people cannot even have ever in their life. And you have to know the same thing. If you want to be just like a successful person, if you want to be massively successful, you have to know that a life of bravery is better than a life of slavery. And talking about bravery, recently I met this wonderful gentleman named Anurag Gupta, who came to one of our boot camps, Rock the Stage Ultimate Formula. He came to our program, Rock the Stage Ultimate Formula, and he called us a few months ago, and I got on a few minutes call with him, and he told me that, Mr. Bishal, I want to learn public speaking. I want to do this. I want to do that. I said, why? He said, Bishal, the reason is because I'm terribly afraid of public speaking. Bishal, I don't know how to speak confidently in an audience. I mean, I have started a business a few months ago, and I'm doing very well, and I don't know how to speak very much confidently. Can you help me? So he came to one of our courses, and as you can see, he recently gave a speech after the boot camp, and he got a lot of response and a very successful speech. But the reason I'm telling this story right now to you is because Anurag Gupta was a person who was into IT for a couple of years. He was working as an IT professional. However, his dream was not to work in IT. His dream was to help other people find their passion in their lives. However, from his family, just like mine, he did not get much support. So for a long time, he was working in IT and working in IT and working in IT without any purpose. So finally, a few months ago, I think last year, he took a plunge from his job, and he thought, enough is enough. I'm not going to live a life of slavery. I am going to live a life of bravery. And he took a plunge, and he started his own business. And right now, he's a fingerprint expert. He's a talent coach and fingerprint expert. And what he does is he helps other people to understand what exactly they should be doing. He has a tremendous amount of great product where he takes an assessment for 30 minutes to 45 minutes with your fingerprints, and using your fingerprints, there will be an automatic generated scientific method assessment that will come, which will tell you what are your main skills that you already have, what kind of a learner you are, kinesthetic, visual or auditory, and what are the areas of your life that you need to work on in order to become massively successful soon. And that's a great idea. In fact, I have a friend called Akash who took the assessment, and it's going pretty well for him. Now, the reason I say that is because here is a gentleman who is doing very well, who's helping other people find their passions in life. However, he had to make a plunge. He had to stop being a slave to IT companies, and he had to be brave enough to know that he had something valuable to give to the world. And the same thing with you. The reason I'm so proud, of this client, the reason I'm so proud of him is because he has taken massive amount of action, because he understands that a life of bravery is better than a life of slavery. He did not want to be a slave to work for somebody else all his life when his purpose was something else. And my friend, the reason I'm telling you right now is because you have something similar. There is something in you that you want to do. Maybe you want to be a confident speaker. Maybe you want to be a dynamic communicator. Maybe you want to give presentations dynamically. Maybe you want to run your own business someday. Maybe you want to have your own book. Maybe you want to appear on TV someday. But you think that, oh, this is not the right time, or that is not the right time. If this is the not right time, then when is the time? Huh? A life of bravery is always better than a life of slavery. In fact, recently when Anurag came to our program, after that he went and spoke to a group of lawyers, and as you can see on the screen, he had a great amount of feedback. He rocked the stage after the course. He actually went and did a tremendous amount of confident presentation, and he called me to tell me, Bishal, it was a great presentation. I loved it. It was great. And he is living his dream right now as a confident speaker, as an expert, as a fingerprint expert, as a career coach. And the same thing can happen for you. In fact, if you look at the screen right now, you will also see that he has recently given a review on our Google Maps page about how he got help from the course Rock the Stage Ultimate Formula. I mean, he's a guy who was not confident. He's a guy who had tremendous amount of stage fear. He's a guy who had tremendous amount of confusion about what to say and what not to say. But right now, I mean, he's doing it very, very well. Now, the reason he's doing it very, very well is because he took action. I mean, when he understood that he was not that much confident, when he understood that he was not up to the mark in his presentation skills, when he understood, he took a step in a brave way. He came to the course and did it. I mean, now he says that it is the most practical public speaking course I have ever attended. I'm lucky I found you, Bishal. You held my hand and showed me how to become a confident speaker step by step with the right formula. Now I'm no more afraid of the stage. I love making connection with the audience, and I have increased my confidence a lot. Again, I'm lucky I found you, Anurag Gupta. Look, man, this guy is a champion, okay? The reason I say he's a champion is because he's living his dreams. He is a brave person, and he understands that his life of bravery is better than a life of slavery. And so should you know that the same thing happens to you. In fact, listen to Anurag Gupta right now.
Hi, myself Anurag. I am a counselor. I joined this course basically just for improving my skills of communication, because if you have an idea and you can't represent it, then this idea is of no use. This is a complete practical course, and if you want to learn how you can speak perfectly and you can present your idea and you want to reach a bigger population, then this is a course for you.
All right, we are back. Look, the thing is, I want to do the same thing for you. If you want to get more confidence in your life, if you want to drive more connection between you and your audience, I'm telling you, there is nobody better than me and our team to help you. So if you want to know how to become a more effective as a presenter, if you want to know how to be a powerful speaker, if you want to increase your confidence and grow your presentation skills, call our office, +91 888 0361 526. Get the information, and you even will be able to rock the stage. The reason I say that is because just like Mark Cuban is living his dreams, just like Anurag Gupta is living his dreams, you deserve to live your dreams. There are some areas in your life, maybe your fitness, maybe your marriage, maybe your finance, maybe your job, maybe your career, somewhere in your life right now, you need to be brave and take action. Right now, right now, right now. You know why? Because a life of bravery is better than a life of slavery. So the question I want to leave you with today is, are you brave enough to stop being a slave to your excuses? Be brave, not slave. A life of bravery is better than a life of slavery. I hope and trust that you got a lot of value and help from this session. Hope to talk to you soon. See you soon in Bangalore at Rock the Stage Ultimate Formula. If you want to know more about our one-on-one coaching program, which is called Bishal Sarkar's Elite Level Coaching Program, call our office +91 888 0361 526, and we will be happy to help you. If you want to know more about the group training, the #1 most practical public speaking course that India has ever seen, called Rock the Stage Ultimate Formula, again, call our office +91 888 0361 526. Whatever you do, be excellent, be great in your life. Why? Because public speaking is not about perfection, it's all about connection. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.